What's up, everyone? What's up? What's up, Dave? Crypto, Calvin, Devin, Jolga, Kicks Good. What I think about, yes, sir, Dave asked already, Agumake. I believe Agumake is playing today, man, to be honest with you. I don't see the reason why she wouldn't be. I mean, I know she was ill. They have her as probable, and I would say that she is going to play. I can't see. I mean, if they don't have no Agumake, they're going to find themselves in a really tough spot. So I think Agumake is playing. What's up, BG for real? What's going on, guys? What's up, James? What's up, Tori? What's up, Angel? So yeah, that's where I think I am as far as Agumake. Yes, on Agumake. Yeah, I think Agumake is playing. Again, like I just said, I mean, if they don't have Agumake, man, they find themselves in a really tough spot. I just can't see it. I mean, this is it, man. This win or you go home. You know, if you don't win, there's no tomorrow. So I can't see how Agumake won't even play, even if she's not feeling 100%. I think she'll play. Rebecca Brunson. I haven't heard any news. She's been just questionable, but she's been questionable for a while. I'm really surprised that Rebecca Brunson has taken so long to come back from a concussion. Because usually concussion protocol, I mean, she must have had a severe concussion. I mean, something really bad. So for her to be out, nearly like 3 weeks or so or more now. So I have no idea what's going on. I think as far as for me today, as far as the plays, pretty much what I discussed earlier in the video earlier. I definitely like Tarazi and Bonner for sure today. I think they're a perfect team stack. I also think that they are the best two plays today. Other than I do like Chelsea Gray and Candace Parker for LA. Minnesota players are in play. Rebecca Brunson, I don't know what's the deal with her. And as far as value plays, I mean, I really narrowed down the value plays to Ms. Wright at 4K. Obviously, I think she's gonna get some time. She's gonna need to get some time on the floor. No Daniel Robinson, as we know. I think also you could also take a little stab at Lindsay Whalen as well. I'm not big on Lindsay Whalen, as you guys know, but this could be her final game of her career, and there could be there is a possibility that she may get 15 or 20 minutes. So definitely got to consider her as well. That's where I'm at as far as value plays. I also think Kayla George could possibly get some minutes here today as well against Phoenix. What I like about the Tarazi Bonner thing is that, I mean, these girls shoot so well. They take about 15 between them two and Talbert and January. They take about 17, 18 threes a game. So, and Dallas really suffers. They give up almost 35% to their opponents of three, as far as three balls concerned. So I find that this is a tough matchup for Dallas. I mean, Phoenix is playing their best basketball. They've been averaging 95 points per game over the last 4 or 5 games, or pretty much the last 4 games. And Dallas is 1-10 in their last 11 games. So, I mean, go figure. They had to win one game against Vegas to get in. They got in, but they didn't even look good the other night as well. So, I mean, they didn't play anybody because they knew they were already in as the HC, so they didn't have to necessarily play Cambage and Diggins Smith. So they are well rested. As far as Dallas is concerned, if you're looking for a Dallas stack, definitely Diggins Smith and Cambage, because without those two girls, there's not going to be much of a match here. I'd be honest with you. I mean, they win today if they play well and they're able to neutralize Griner up front and neutralize at least or get Tarazi into foul trouble. Remember, Tarazi is great at threes. She's very aggressive. That's the biggest problem with her. And she can get into foul trouble, and she is turnover prone also. So this is why I kind of favor, me personally, I kind of like Bonner more than Tarazi, but I think both of them are excellent stack for tonight. And as far as Diggins Smith and Cam Page, I think that's great. And if you're not willing to play Diggins Smith, no problem. I think Alicia Gray, if Bonner, if Tarazi and company like January as well as Tolbert, if these girls able to neutralize Diggins Smith a little bit, there's a possibility that Gray could be a sneaky big play today at 5,700. She may get more shots and she may have to be a little bit more offensive, aggressive offensively. So be on the lookout for a sneaky play with Ms. Gray. Hey, thanks for that, Devin. Yeah, that's that. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, everybody that's on here, I mean, I appreciate you guys. If you press that like button, it'll definitely help me out with my channel, like always. I mean, that's really important. I started realizing that is so important right now. So if you guys don't mind, please just smash it, and let's just keep on and let's see if we can make some money tonight. So but thanks for that, Devin. I appreciate that, buddy. What else I saw? What I've seen out of the two. Also, in the Minnesota game, I'm really loving LA. I mean, obviously as well, also because of the three-point shooting, and not only that, the field goal percentage and three-point shooting percentage is a little bit better for LA than it is for Minnesota. I always pick on the Minnesota Lynx, with that backcourt play. I'm never on Augustus, but you never know. At 5,300, I'm just not on any of these girls. I like Wakrana Williams, and I like Tanisha Wright here, as well as Chelsea Gray. I think those are my favorite plays there, and I think here in that 4,000 range, you may have, like I said in my earlier video, you may be able to lock in one or two plays here that may be very surprising. I mean, Odyssey Sims may be a big surprise, but I'm more on Williams because it seems like they already have realized that Williams definitely has been able to not only play better on her with the minutes that she plays, but she's also shooting better, and she's also putting up the fantasy points. So Raquana Williams is definitely someone that I am considering myself today as well. I have her in 2 lineups already, but of course I always, after we shut down here, I normally go back and take another further look and make a decision on making some changes. But Miss Williams is definitely in play for me today. I'm not on Miss Beard. I'm not on the Miss Beard. Zalden Zini. Yes, Zalden, the Zalden Zini will be a nice play at forward, James. I think she, especially if Brunson is out, that's the whole thing. We don't know what's the deal with Brunson. I would think that Brunson is not playing, and I'm gonna bank. I just truly feel Agumake is gonna play. If Brunson was to play, it definitely helps Minnesota, and it definitely will negate time from Zaldazini on the floor. That's the only problem with that. But Zaldazini right now for me is in play with no Brunson. And I actually have her in a few lineups as well. The only thing I don't like about her is she's not putting up large numbers, but she's playing more than enough minutes. I mean, she's playing more than 20 minutes a game. I think the last few games over 30. Yeah, 33 and 36 the last 2 games, but not enough fantasy points for us. Fantasy players. It's really, really disturbing. But she at any point could get you 20 or better. So that's the whole thing, man. She has the upside that she can get you 20 to 25. So that will automatically smash value. So that's what we look for there. Other than her, I mean, here on the lower tier, Fag Bentley has been getting a little bit of time again. All of a sudden, it's like you never know what they're going to do with Minnesota. But Cecilia has been getting time, and now Fag Bentley has been getting a little bit of time again. I noticed 10, 15, and 19 over the last 3 games. She almost got 1 fantasy point per minute in her last outing. I mean, she may be someone to consider here. You could take a stab at her as well. I'm more in favor of Saldazini simply because she seems to be getting the upper hand as far as minutes. Lavender would be in play, obviously, if there's no Agumake. But I believe Agumake is playing. I mean, without Agumake, I think it'll be a really tough game for LA to win. I really believe so. I mean, that means if she's not there, definitely Lavender will have to have an enormously big game, as well as Dupree, as Parker, as well as Chelsea Gray. They're going to need a big game from Chelsea Gray if there is no Agumake, and they're going to need Gentel Lavender to come off the bench and start and play very, very well in the absence of Nneka Agumake. But I believe Nneka is playing. Devin says to fade Cam Page and play forwards Fowles, Parker, Griner. I like Sylvia Fowles, and I like Candace Parker for sure. Not too high on Griner, but Griner could be a good play. I definitely like, when it comes to Phoenix, I like the two girls. Well, Bonner's in the front court as well, but I like Bonner in the front court. in that 4 spot, and Taurasi in the backcourt as the shooting guard. Yeah, kicks good. Lavender will be a high risk, high reward play, no doubt about it. I totally agree with you. I mean, 4,100. I mean, she could get you 35. I mean, she's shown that she can get you 6x easily, 7x. It's a possibility with Lavender if Ogumake is out. But man, that is a big risk, because you're now coughing up 4,100 for a player that might not play at all. And that would be a big loss. And in 2 games now, granted, these teams, all these players that we're talking about, they all need to play. I mean, this is win today, you play tomorrow. If you lose, you're gone. You're going home. So obviously, everyone is in play, and every one of the starters and all the studs on each one of these teams are gonna have to play massive minutes today. I see players doing 30 to 35 and maybe exceeding 35 into almost close to 40. I can see it happening tonight, and especially if the games are close. So my recommendation is stick with some of the studs and try to squeeze in there some low value plays that are definitely getting minutes. And then that goes into play. Those players are like Zaldizini, for right now, if there's no Brunson. In the guard play, those low value players that are getting minutes, Miss Williams, over 20-some-odd minutes. Wright, over 20-some-odd minutes. Okay, in the forward spot, I would say definitely you got to consider Zaldizini. Kayla George, not quite over 20 minutes, but she may be a factor, and Fact Bentley. That is it. There ain't really much in the forward spot. And I think if you look at the overall slate, I think some of your better plays. Because remember, Dewana Bonner is here in the guard play, but Dewana Bonner is really a forward. All your major studs are in the front court, with Griner, Cambage, Fowles, and Parker, and Maya Moore, and Ogumake. I mean, those are all solid girls. Thoughts on Kayla Thornton? I was looking at her, and I don't know, I mean, I be honest with you, if I'm gonna go with anybody, I have not been really much high on Dallas's front court in over a couple of weeks. I went to them so many times thinking that they were gonna get it done, and they weren't able to. They're gonna have a tough time here today, but I think if anybody's gonna have a good game in the front court, Kayla Thornton could be one, because she gets massive minutes. Okay, she does normally get 25 to 30, sometimes over 30 minutes, and she's capable of hitting the 3. And granted, they're playing Phoenix, who normally gives up about 35%. Let me take a double take here. Phoenix, opponents are shooting 30. They've been giving up 35% to threes. If Kayla Thornton can get herself spread open a little bit, she may be able to hit some threes, as well as Diggin Smith. But I think when it comes to Phoenix, they're just a much more superior three-point shooting team. So if I'm looking at the front court for Dallas, I'm looking at Miss Stevens. Miss Stevens, for me, will probably be the best play at 6,200. So if you're willing to go up $300 more and get Azurá Stevens, I think Azurá Stevens would be a better play than Thornton, at least in my opinion. Not that Kayla cannot. Also with Azurá Stevens, what I have, Azurá, let me find her. Miss Stevens. Yeah, 6 out of our last 8, over 21. She's putting up more than her average in 6 out of the last 8 games. And then against Phoenix, the last time out, she did put up 35 and 33 minutes, and she shot over 45%. So, I mean, I like Miss Stevens as far as the numbers are concerned. I like Miss Stevens. She's had the best numbers, other than Glory Johnson has had a couple of decent games against Phoenix, but nothing overwhelming. Yeah, I think they're gonna realize if Stevens gets off and is able to get her shots going and get involved and get it in the flow of the offense, I think Miss Stevens will probably get more time on the floor and have better numbers than Miss Thornton. But again, Miss Thornton is pretty good if she can get her threes down and hit her perimeter shots, and get some rebounding and help out there defensively. She could be out there just as long. I just kind of lean towards Miss Stevens better. I'd rather pay $300 more. She has a better upside. Brenton Wood, is Ogwumike playing? I believe she is. I mean, they have her listed as probable, and I think she will. This is a big game. I mean, you can't go into the playoff. You feel a little horrible, even if I had a massive headache or I just felt like I had flu-like symptoms. You're not gonna miss a playoff game, especially an elimination game. This is not a 3-game series here. This is an elimination game. You're playing one game and out. So it's like a wild card game in baseball. Bottom line is you gotta win today. So I see Ogwumike playing, and I see her playing her regular minutes, 25 to 30. You're talking about Yvonne Turner? Yvonne Turner asks, "My love myself. Does she play about 20 minutes? I can check for you. I don't think she does." Yvonne Turner does not play. I don't believe Yvonne Turner plays 20 minutes. Not 20 minutes a game. If you're talking about Yvonne Turner. Definitely not. No, not at least not as of late. Not even during this streak of games. She's playing 16, 17, 12. She did have 24 minutes against Indy, but that was in a blowout situation. That's why she was in there. So no, I don't think she played. Well, it's stating that she does not. Who I think is going to step up for the guards for Minnesota? Yeah, I think I really truly believe when it comes to the Minnesota game, you got to think of Wright. I'm not willing to pay $5,300 for Simone Augustus. Simone is not a bad player. 20 to 22, 23, she can get you that. All right, she don't have tremendous upside. She's not going to give you 6, 7x. And I'm not saying that anybody else could here, but I believe that Miss Williams is more of an integral part of this offense right now. I think Ms. Williams can get you 25 at that price. That is not a bad price for her. Lindsay Whalen from Minnesota. Excuse me, that was for LA. Sorry, you asked for Minnesota. Lindsay Whalen at 4,300 could possibly be a surprise here. And then you have Miss Wright. I would lean towards Miss Wright for $300 cheaper. But Lindsay Whalen may get some time here today due to the fact that this may be her last game of her career, and if she gets off, they put her on the court and she is getting herself settled in his offense, is making some things happen, I could see Lindsay Whalen playing longer than 15, 20 minutes. So yeah, I think those are the two best plays at guard if they're gonna go off. I'm not on Simone Augustus. That's where I'm at. I love Chelsea Gray in this matchup. The two Grays I definitely like, but I like Chelsea Gray the best. Don't fall asleep on Miss Gray, especially if Diggins Smith is having a little bit of issues with her field goal percentage in this game. If she's not shooting efficiently, or they're double teaming her, or making it very, very tough for her to get off, then you could probably see Miss Gray freeing herself up and getting a little bit more shots and making more things happen offensively. So watch out for Alicia Gray. I'm not on Talbert, even though she finally put up 30 fantasy points in her last game out. But at 5,500, I think at 5,500, you definitely have some nice plays over here at guard, and you could come down nearly $1,000, and you can take a Sims, a Williams, a Whalen, even a Beard or a Wright, and you'll be okay with these girls possibly getting you at least value. At least value. And the one that has the best upside as far as putting some large numbers is Ms. Wright at 4,000, is capable of getting you 30 plus. And I would think Ms. Williams. Brianne January, not a bad play. I mean, Miss January, she's not doing too bad. I was looking at her as well earlier. January, 70% shooting in her last 3 games, 64% from 3. She's averaging 16, 17 fantasy points per game in the last 3 or 4 games. So January has been playing better. At home, she's a 43% field goal percentage shooter and shoots 50% from 3. So her numbers as far as at home and as far as how she's been playing as of late has been fantastic. I could live with that January at 4,800. If she can get me 20 to 25, that'll be awesome. And she's capable of doing that. I think she's not a bad play. The only problem is, the only drawback is that she has not shot well against Dallas. In all the 3 meetings against Dallas, she's only shooting 36% from the floor and only 20% from 3, only averaging about 13 fantasy points per game. So she has had her issues with Dallas, but again, it's one or the other. You can go with how she's done against the opponent, okay, or you can basically gauge her as far as how she's playing right now. And right now, Phoenix is playing very well, averaging 95 points a game as a team. I could see them having a really, really explosive game here today against Dallas. You know, this is a pace game. Dallas loves to play the pace game. They're one of the highest, probably the highest scoring team in the league, pretty much at about 86 or 87 points per game. Yes, Dallas 87 pretty much points per game. So, I mean, I can see that happen. All right, have a good night. Good luck to you, Angel. Okay, Daryl Park, I'm switching up and stacking Minnesota. Yeah, I mean, Minnesota stack, I mean, I don't have real, you know, when you think of Minnesota, you got to just think fouls and more. You know, I mean, it's just nobody else. But if you wanted to, obviously, these 2 girls having Sylvia Fowles and more, you're going to really take a big chunk of your 40 grand. So, I mean, maybe you want to go Fowles and maybe take a stab at Ms. Wright and do a Wright with Fowles stack. You could go even with a Wright, Fowles, and more. And you got 3 solid possible plays there, especially the 2 up front with Minnesota. And you free yourself up to get some players out of the Dallas-Phoenix game. I think you could be able to do that. Scotty P. Romero. Oh, Letitia Romero. I don't think so. I just don't see her getting sufficient minutes here unless this game becomes a blowout. If this game gets out of hand, then maybe. You're talking about Romero, Letitia Romero. Yeah, 3,200. I don't know, man. She did get 21 in her last game, but again, man, you know, Seattle, you know, they didn't have nothing to play for, man. You know, Dallas did. So they basically already had locked into HC, so they let her play some minutes. But she has not shown any signs here in the last, like, even during the losing streak, that she was involved in the offense. So no, I would say don't take your chance and spend 3,200 on her. If you want to go cheap, you know, the cheapest you could go is probably January, at least in the Dallas Phoenix game. But the cheapest guard would be that I would advise anybody to take would be Wright at 4,000, and that's not extremely cheap, but that is not a bad price for her, that she could get you possibly even 30 plus. Yeah, Artful Dodger. I mean, yeah, I mentioned that way earlier. I mean, I think that there's strong plays in the front court, so you could go front court load and then basically be a little lighter in the back court. But if you go to the back court, I would say I would say if you were to go with, I could see going with Williams, Whalen, and maybe a Wright, or Williams, Wright, and possibly maybe a Gray. You might be able to free up enough to get at least 2 solid front court players. You could go 3 if you go really cheap with 1 forward. I guess the cheapest forward you can go to is probably Angel Robinson, who got a little bit of action the other day. Don't know. Maybe the cheapest after that will probably be Fag Bentley. So maybe you could go Fag Bentley at 3,700 and then maybe pay for 3 solid forwards, like maybe Moore, who's on the cheaper end, or Agumake. Agumake's at 7,100. So I would probably do it like an Agumake. You could do maybe a Maya Moore and then throw in there like a Sylvia Fowles, a Cam Page, or a Parker. I think that's a possibility. You can do that. Yeah, thanks a lot there, T Dot. Yes, guys. I mean, there's quite a bit of people watching, man. I appreciate you guys drop a like, man. I really do. Drop a like on the video. on the live stream. I appreciate it. You know, I'm trying to help you guys out. You know, I would appreciate that. That will help me out as far as my channel is concerned. So definitely be on the, you know, look out for me, man. I appreciate it. And thanks a lot for that, T-Dot. Tori says, I think Augustus loses the minutes. Yeah, that could definitely be a possibility. You know, I mean, I've never been big on any of Minnesota's backcourt. I mean, if anybody's been with me long enough watching my videos and discussing, every time I always fade Minnesota backcourt players. I have played Augustus a few times this year, but not I mean, she's good. She's good. She's pretty good at 20 to 23, 24. She doesn't have tremendous upside, and sometimes she's priced a little high. Right here at 5,300, you really need about 27, you know, to cover that. And I don't think she can get that. You know, I mean, this is a tough game for her. LA is really tough against guards, man. So I mean, if you're gonna go anybody with Minnesota in the guard spot, I will be willing to take a stab at Whalen, or just go after, or just take Ms. Wright, just simply because those numbers 4,304 work well enough for you to be able to pay up for a couple of guards in the Dallas Phoenix game, which I think you got Gray there, who's a pretty good play, as well as either Bonner or Taurasi or even Diggins Smith. Perkins asks, yeah, James, I think I mentioned Kayla George earlier. I think she may be a nice little play at 3,900. She's getting some minutes. I think she's going to see some time on the court. I really do. I really do think she's going to get some time on the court here. You know, Dewana Bonner is a great rebounder. I mean, she's quick. She plays mostly the front court. When you look at this here and you say Bonner, Taurasi, and then you look down, oh, and Tolbert and January, those are four of their starters right there, and Fanduel has them all in the guard position. So when you look basically on the forward spot for Phoenix over here, you basically are just seeing Griner and then the girls that normally don't get no action, which is, you know, all the way down here. it's really, really bad. So yeah, I think Bonner, you know, she makes it very, very difficult. You know, and if she does make it difficult, I could see where Griner can get into a little bit of trouble. And you can see Miss George, you know, get some time on the floor. Remember, Griner is capable of getting into foul trouble. I think going into tonight, the one with the biggest risk of getting into foul trouble, at least for Phoenix, is Taurasi more so, because she is very aggressive, and I know she's going to be aggressive again tonight. Antoine Daniels, I see more with 27 to 33 points today. That's about right. She's at 7,500. I'm not high on Maya Moore. I think if I'm looking at Minnesota's front court, I definitely would prefer with the higher, you know, upside of Sylvia Fowles. My only concern, like I always say here at DFS Zone, is I'm always concerned with Sylvia. The last time LA played against Minnesota, Sylvia Fowles committed about 6 or 7 turnovers. She got into foul trouble. She had a horrible game, and they really double teamed her. They trapped her almost every time they had a chance to, and I can see that happening again today. So I'm more with Candace Parker. I really love Candace Parker in this matchup against Minnesota. I mean, she's really put up some good numbers. I mean, she put up 55 against Minnesota in the last game and 39 in 34 minutes in Game 3. And she's just fantastic. At home, she's 49% shooting from the floor, nearly 30% from 3. And then, of course, the 3. Within the 3 games against Minnesota, she shot 53%, 46% from 3, averaged 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1.5 blocks, and pretty much 43 to 44 fantasy points per game. So, on paper, as far as statistics-wise, Candace Parker has played well against this team. She is probably the best play, other than Griner and Liz Cambage, as far as numbers are concerned tonight for the front court players. But Maya Moore, you know, yeah, man, if she's capable of shooting 50%. She shoots tons of shots. So Moore, I like about Moore is that she plays a decent enough minutes, and she's going to need to play massive minutes today. Not only that is, she takes about 16, 17 shots a game between field goals as well as three-point shooting. So, I mean, and she could, at any night, she can shoot and get 45, 50% from both the three-point range and two-point range, and she's going to be very, very dangerous. And then she's not a bad free throw shooter to top that off too. Yeah, Bobby, yes, I do NFL too. I am prepping for that. I'm actually, like I said earlier in yesterday's live stream, I am, before the week is over, there will be strategies video on NFL DFS for those who are new to it or may need some tips or some strategies or some ideas. I'm sure a lot of that is going to be probably, something that you already know, but at the same time it's perfect for those who are new, who don't really know. And I am going to be doing at least 2 videos of what I think are some of the players we should be looking at as far as DFS NFL this year for explosive years, so there'll be some videos on that as well. I probably have about 3 of them done before, or 4 before the NFL begins. And then of course I will be doing my weekly NFL look on every slate, and then as well as I will have a live show for that as well. Essence Carson, a sneaky play. Yeah, she can be. Essence Carson is not that bad, man. I'm glad somebody mentioned her because, I kind of been overlooking her today at 5,000. My only concern with her is that she's had really a rough go with Minnesota. She really hasn't really played a lot of minutes against Minnesota. She played 18 here, put 7.5. And then, let's see, I think previously over here, 27 and only 5. That's a lot of minutes, 27 minutes, and only put up 5.5 fantasy points. Those are 2 dud games. I wasn't impressed by that. I look at those numbers first, and then on average, she hasn't been near her average as of late either. So that's why I'm leaning more towards Raquana Williams. And as far as that lower tier of Spark players, you could consider Sims, but I kind of like Williams more. And I definitely love Chelsea Gray. I think Chelsea Gray is definitely a solid play tonight. Yeah, January, Taurasi, Griner, Bonner, and Tolbert, all the starters. Yeah, and they're going to play massive minutes. Taurasi and Bonner and Griner normally play 34, 35 minutes. They play massive minutes. Let me just go right here. Massive minutes. There you go. Diggins Smith, 34. Bonner, 33. Chelsea Gray, pretty much 33. Griner, 33. Taurasi, about 30 minutes a game. These girls play massive minutes. They're going to play those minutes and then some today. Like I said, all studs are in play all the way through the entire game. This is a winner-take-all, moves on to the next round game. This is elimination games for every team. Everybody's going to be balling as hard as they can, and those stud players are going to play massive minutes. It's just a matter of finding those 3 or 4 that are going to play and going to play well, and then matching them up with those value plays that get, like I said before earlier here when I got on, look for those value plays, the value plays which I mentioned before, that are the best possible plays, that are players that are getting 20 minutes or better per game. That's what you're looking for right now. Girls that come off the bench and are getting 20 to 25 or better. And when you think of guards, that's Miss Wright. She's starting and she's playing about more than 25 minutes a game right now, and possibly can go over 30. Miss Williams is getting that. Miss January, this is not value. January is getting that. She's a starter. But down here in the bottom tier is only going to be probably Williams, Wright, and that's basically it, at least in my eye, as value. Girls that get 20 to 25 or better minutes and can possibly get you 30, because they both can. Then when it comes to the front court, as of late, it's got to be Zaldazini is playing more than enough minutes, so I think she is someone to consider because she's playing the minutes, and this is a critical game. All right. Kayla George has been getting at least close to 20 minutes, so she may be someone to consider. In fact, Bentley has been about almost 20 minutes the last few games, maybe about 17 to 18, not quite 20 maybe. Yeah, she got 15 to 19 in the last 2 games. So it's going to be really, really tight, but I think most of these teams are going to bank on all their stars and all their starters to play massive minutes today. Tim, as far as Agumake, the last I heard is she is probable, and I will say that she is going to play. Again, this is winner takes all. Winner moves on, loser goes home, single game elimination. She could be still a little ill. She could probably be 60% healthy. She's going to be on the court. I don't see her passing up an opportunity to play in a single game elimination game. I don't. It'll be shocking, and if she is not playing, then obviously Lavender will be the one to target, Gentile, and she's at a fine price at 4,100 with a possibility to get you 35 plus. She will be a fantastic play, but I truly believe Nneka Agumake is playing. James Larkins. Oh man, I don't know, man. I'm not on Larkins. I mean, it's just this. It's again, we've been through this, right, James, with New York, Indiana. We just don't know what they're gonna go, what they're gonna do, what these coaches are. It's just really could be very frustrating with the WNBA, and that's been my issue with the WNBA this year. Is just you just don't know what you're gonna get any given night, especially as far as who's playing and who's coming off the bench and who is part of the rotation and who's not. And Miss Larkins, last two games, only 10 minutes worth of time on the court. I mean, I just can't see her playing. In the meantime, she did play 20, 15, and 19 before that. So I just don't know. It's very, very tricky. Time Fagbelly's been playing the last few games, at least a little bit of minutes. I would favor her, and I would think Zaldenzini, simply because even though she's not scoring, she got the last two games, 33 and 36 minutes. And then you got here 27, 23, 28. So she has been a part of this rotation and playing enough minutes for about 5 or 6 games or so now. I don't think that changes. George or Plaisance? I will probably favor Carolyn George. I think Plaisance, unless Cam Page gets really into some serious foul trouble early on, that's where I could see Teresa Plaisance play. And she only got 12 minutes in the last game out. Obviously, this is a game that they didn't have nothing to play for, and they still didn't play her massive minutes. They only played 12 minutes. But yeah, she had a moment here where it looked like she was getting a part of the she was part of the rotation. But obviously that was because Liz Cambage was out. So it's hard to say, man. I really think George is the best route to go. She's getting a little bit of time, and I think in a situation like this, if Cambage gets in a little bit of trouble, I think they're gonna lean on her a little bit more. Nico McCoy, I said it before, I like Azare Stevens over Glory Johnson. Yes, I like the Rook over Glory. George or Zaldazini? I'll take the minutes. I'll take Zaldazini. If it was me, I actually have Zaldazini in at least 2 of my lineups today. You have to get somebody of low value there somewhere. She's getting minutes, so I'm just banking that she is going to get those minutes, and she'll shoot fairly well. Field goal percentage is not too bad for Zaldazini. My top two forwards, I definitely love Candice Dupree, and I have been leaning towards Griner will probably be my next bet, but I definitely love Candace Parker, and I think that Griner will probably be my next best bet. Those are my two favorite going into today. Remember, Liz Cambage, she's capable of getting 60 plus. She could be very explosive. They're gonna need her to be. Carol C, I'm playing Whalen in the lineup. Yeah, Lindsay Whalen would not be a bad play at 4,300. Last possible game of her career. I could see Minnesota giving her a little bit of time. She's been there. She's knocked down big shots in playoff games. She has a lot of experience. She's won championships. There's a lot you can favor with Lindsay Whalen on the court. So I think she may possibly get 15 to 20 minutes, and if she's doing well on the court, she may get more than 20 minutes. T-Dot, yeah, that's a good one. Now, that's a problem with Griner, and that's a problem with Cambage. I think the one going into tonight that has the biggest issue with fouls is Sylvia Fowles. But Griner has a little bit of discipline. I think that the first one who'll get into foul trouble is probably going to be Liz Cambage. She has shown as of late that she gets a little frustrated on the court. And Brittany Griner doesn't. She doesn't, you don't see her get into those moments like Tarazi or even Cambage that they kind of lose it a little bit, and they start questioning every little pity-pat foul and all that. So I would still favor Griner in that aspect. They both have been pretty good. The only drawback, and I said that in my early video, is that after looking at them, Griner and Cambage both against each other have not done well against one another. Cambage has not had a big game against Phoenix all year, and neither has Griner against Dallas. So something's got to give today, and I'm banking that I think it's Griner and Bonner with Tarazi that are going to get it done. Hey, you're welcome there, Bobby. Thank you, man. Thank you for watching and being a supporter. I appreciate it. Again, man, if you guys first time here, haven't subscribed yet, please do so. I got NFL, got NBA, I got all kind of things going on that will be here and the channel. We do have a Facebook group, we do have Twitter, we have Instagram, the whole 9 yards. So drop a like on the live stream. I really truly appreciate it. It would definitely helps me out. And if you're new here and you are getting ready for NFL, I got some NFL videos coming out later on this week to help you guys out with gearing up for the NFL season, as well as I will be conducting NFL live shows, as well as giving you my first look on every slate every weekend all the way throughout. And the same for the NBA when NBA comes around in mid-October. Okay, we have here Zaldazini, Kayla George, Elena Beard, or Wright. If you're looking for value, I think in the backcourt, definitely Wright. I'm not on Elena Beard. And I think they realize that in LA too. She's a good defender. This may be a good game for her to play, but she doesn't bring a lot of offense to the team. Whereas I think Raquana Williams has shown that, and I think that's why they've been kind of like favoring her a little bit as of late. LA, Zaldazini, because of the minutes, I think Zaldazini will be a better play than Kayla George. And she also has the better upside. She's capable of getting you, at least in my opinion, over 20 to 25. So she'll pay her price. She's at 3,900. Kayla George is at the same price, I believe. Yeah, but I think they're both at the same price. So yeah, I would say Zaldazini, just simply for the minutes. Kayla George has not been playing more than 25 minutes. I think she'll get 15 to 20. She may get 20 today, but I don't know. What's good about it is that she played 19 minutes in her last outing. But again, that was against Seattle. They had nothing to play for, so take that into account. Don't go by these numbers. They've decided to sit Cambage, Diggin Smith. They only played about 19, 20 minutes, those girls. So Kayla George got those minutes, 19, because they sat most of their starters. They had nothing to play for in that last game against Seattle. They already locked in that 8th spot. James Perkins, Glory Johnson. I am favoring more Miss Stevens, $200 cheaper, James. But Glory Johnson could be a nice little play. What I have for Glory earlier. Let's see. Yeah, she's at 3,200. Glory, 60. Let me take a little bit closer look on her. But I did look at her, and I felt that Azurá Stevens has better numbers as of late. Yeah, she's averaging 8 points a game. Field goal percentage is at 41. All right. When you compare her to Miss Stevens, okay, Miss Stevens is right below her. If you're looking at my screen, she's averaging 2 minutes less than Glory Johnson, but she's averaging the same amount. She's taking one more shot than Glory in less minutes. She's shooting 2%, pretty much 1.5% better at 43%. And she actually takes nearly 3 threes a game and is averaging 31% there, so slightly a little better than Johnson as well. They both are at about 78% free throw shooters. The rebounding, Glory Johnson has the edge there. Assists, they're pretty much even, but I just see, my thing is that with Azurá Stevens is that she has shown that she has better upside. She's been able to put up better numbers over a course of games. She could get you 30 or better, as you can see, 30, 31, 32, 32, even a 40 spot here, 34. And when you look at Glory Johnson, she's pretty consistent at 23 to about 26. Okay, she got a 38 spot here, 38 here, but 28, 22, 4, 7, 9, 7. These are really bad games here. 21, 10. It's just too sporadic. She could get you 30, she could get you 35, but she's more in the range of where her fantasy point per game averages, pretty much at that 19, 20, maybe as high as 22, 23. Bonner, Tarazi, I will go with Bonner. Okay, hold on. Carol asks first. Lavender or Vadiva? No. Wow. If Oguma K is playing, which I believe she is, both of these girls are going to take a little bit of a back seat today because this is a big game. That's just my opinion on it. But if any one of them gets any time on the floor, we'll probably go with Lavender simply because she's capable of putting 30, 35. And that's only if Ogumake doesn't play. And I doubt it. I think Ogumake is playing. You know, I can't see Ogumake passing up a game, playoff game, just because she may be, you know, a little ill. You know, she will have to be like bedridden for her not to be able to play. So the last I heard is that she's probable, and when you hear probable, chances are she is going to play, and I don't see no reason right now. So Lavender or Vadiva, tough call there, Carol. I would think you got to definitely fade both of those two girls and not even take a chance. But if you wanted to take a risk, and this is what it's all about, it's taking risk, no reward, then yeah, you will take a risk. You're going to have to go Lavender for certain. Miss Turner for Gary Studdard. I'm not on Yvonne Turner. I don't think Turner's going to get a whole lot of time here. I mean, 3,600. She's priced all right, but January and Talbert are going to play massive minutes. Remember, Talbert is here at guard, but she plays the 3 spot. January is the point guard. Taurasi is the shooting guard, and Bonner is the 4, and they're all here at guard. So 4 of their starters are right here. You know, I would say you got to stick with Taurasi and Bonner. And then we have here, someone asked behind Artful Dodger, Bonner or Taurasi. Either one is fine, but I will go with Bonner simply because Taurasi has a tendency of being turnover prone, and she gets into foul problems. She lets her emotions get the best of her, and that's a problem that she has. But she is explosive. She can get you 50 plus. We all know that. Taurasi is a fine physical specimen. This girl can play, and she's just like an energized bunny. She keeps playing. She's never tired. So she'll play 40 minutes tonight if they have to. Both Bonner and Taurasi, hands down. And I would still favor Bonner simply because of those reasons. Is that she's better disciplined and not fouling and not turning over the ball. And that's the only reason why. Yeah, Glory Johnson. I'm not on Glory Johnson, and if she is still hurting in any way, obviously you should fade her and not even take a chance at 6,400. Pay 6,200 and take Miss Stevens. I think she's a better play. Yeah, everyone is in play. There's no doubt about that. This is it, man. This is playoff games. But like I said before, the best advice I can give all of you guys is match up, get your core 3 or 4 players, make sure they all are, you know, players that play massive minutes, they are starting in the lineup, and they're an integral part of the offense. And then try to get some value plays of players that are being utilized on a regular basis as of late and are playing 20 minutes or better and have the potential to give you some upside. And I pretty much laid that out to you guys already of which ones I think, in my opinion, are the best possible plays that meet that criteria. Fowles, Cambage, or Griner. I say Fowles has the biggest upside tonight, but she's had her issues with LA, especially in the last game. I'm leaning towards Griner more so. Cambage, same thing, a little bit of foul problems. She can get into foul trouble. If they get under her skin, she has shown that she has lost her emotions a little bit. Okay, so I really think she is someone that you may possibly want to fade as well today. But again, if you want to stack up, really quickly before I go, because we're going to get ready to go here, Taurasi, Bonner, best team stack today. If you look at Minnesota, LA, you definitely are looking for LA. I like Candace Parker with Chelsea Gray. All right. When you think of Dallas, it's got to be Diggin Smith and Liz Cambage. And if you're not going to go Cambage with Smith, you should go Cambage with Gray. And then as far as on the other side of the ball, Minnesota and LA, Minnesota, not high on any team stack there. But if you're going to go with any, you got to take the 2 front court players in Maya Moore and Sylvia Fowles and take your chances with those 2 girls. If not, then take Mrs. Wright in the backcourt with one of those 2 in the front court, with one of the 2, but not both. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it, man. We got about 9 minutes to go. I will make a few changes in one lineup that I'm thinking of right now. So, I mean, I hope everybody has a lot of success tonight. Hopefully you guys win some money, and let me know if you do. Again, drop a like on the live stream. I really appreciate it. I see right now, just before I'm closing out, there's 61 people watching. Please, I appreciate it if you drop a like on the live stream. And if you're new to the channel and I've been able to give you some information, I got more to give on a regular basis, as well as NFL and NBA coming up. So definitely subscribe down below if you haven't done that already, and be on the lookout for those NFL videos during the course of this week. And the next time we have WNBA, I believe it's Thursday, is the next 2 playoff games. So by the end of tonight, we'll be down to 6 teams. We'll have 2 more games on Thursday. There will be a live show again on Thursday. There will be a first look video early in the morning, so be on the lookout for that as well. All right, guys, and that's basically it, man. So good luck to everybody. Yeah, thanks, Rob Peterson. Thank you, man. I'm doing the best I can. All right. You know, I appreciate you coming on and taking a look at the show. All right, but again, everybody, just enjoy your night. Good luck tonight. Make some money. If you guys do, please comment down later on. Let me know if you have made some money tonight. Doesn't matter if it was from my advice or anybody else's, but just let me know. Again, we have a Facebook group. If you haven't been there yet, go to DFS Zone on Facebook and put yourself in to sign into the group, and I will definitely get you in. And then, of course, we are on Instagram as well as on Twitter. Everything's on the description box as well. So again, good luck, everybody. God bless, and I see you guys on Thursday.